Hello guys, welcome back again. This video or series of videos we will explore desktop application under Visual Studio 2000 we use Visual Studio 2019 to explore desktop application under the .NET platform. There are multiple frameworks to which we can build a desktop application under the .NET platform. We can use Windows Presentation Foundation, WPF. Windows WPF is a UI framework for building visually compelling Windows desktop applications on the .NET platform. We will also look at Windows Forms or WinForms. WinForms is a UI framework with easy drag and drop designer for building Windows desktop applications under the .NET platform. We'll also have a look at the Universal Windows Platform, UWP. UWP extends the .NET platform to enable development for any Windows devices: PC, tablet, phone, Xbox, HoloLens, Surface app, and Windows 10 IoT Core. UWP provides a UI framework for writing responsive apps that support a number of screens, sizes, and interaction models, such as touch, mouse, and keyboard, game, controller, and pen. It extends extensive SDK offer specialized APIs for each device class, like the holographic capabilities of HoloLens. But this video, we will have a look at the WPF, i.e. the Windows Presentation Foundation. So as you can see, I've got a Visual Studio 2019 version with the starting page. So we'll go ahead by creating a new project. So we click to create a new project, and we are prompted with multiple templates. So what we do, we have a recent project template, which is the WPF application, or we can go to the project type and select desktop. So here we will be prompted with multiple frameworks to which we can build our desktop application. But we will use the WPF app, and then we click on the next, and here we are actually prompted to further extend our configuration if we want to. But in this video we're just gonna click create. But you can change your project name from here and in your solution name as well, or you can actually use an existing solution by clicking on this checkbox. So we go to the new. So one last thing is that there's a .NET framework that we're using. We're using the version 4.72, but you can click here and use whatever version that you want to. So we create the project, and I had a solution, so so as you can see now, we've got a new project created, and this we've got our usual starting files and folders that is needed to build our first blank application. And if you are familiar with .NET Framework applications, you get your usual properties where we have assembly information and our resource. Here, inside this file, we can add static resources like a new string, image, icon, and text file. And here, too, we can put our settings like connection strings and whatnot. And we move down to the references. This is where our projects reference any external Windows API files which is needed for this application. Then we've got our app.config file. This is where we put our configuration settings like our connection string and whatnot. And then we've got our app.xaml. This is where we put our resources linked to if we have a separate file for our design, something like a .css file, but in this case it will be a .xaml file. And then we've got our main view.xaml. This is where our project initialize, the screen initialize. So this is more like a home page for a website, something similar to that. So inside and here we've got a code behind. This is more like something more like a JavaScript if you're talking in terms of a web development. This is where we put our interaction logic for our main window. And then inside here we've got this initialize component. This is what fires up all the applications. So we go back to this place. So as you can see, we've got a split screen where we've got our design, where we can use a drag and drop to build our UI, or we can write this code in XAML. So we will explore that by doing a very simple example. So we put a text block here. We close it. This side is closed. You can also use a backslash like this to close it, but we leave it like this for now. So inside here we can add some attributes to it. So the first bit is we can put a text. So we could just say hello world. Hello world. Then inside here we can set some design attributes like foreground. So we can just put red for the foreground, and then how we want to align it. So we can set our horizontal alignment to center and our vertical alignment to center as well. You can also set font size. So you can test it to see how they come up based on the device that you want to use. And we can actually set our font weight to bold. So as you can see, we've got whatever that we write in here is updating here automatically. So that's the nice part of it. And then just like a web development, if we want to access this from the code behind, we have to give it a unique name. So we can just set our name to something that is familiar to what we want to do with this property. So we can just say time now to display the current time from the code behind. So we come back to the code behind here. So now what we can do is we can use this event loaded. This will be triggered after all the components are loaded. So we can do the double tap to get the event created here. So inside this event, this is what we will do once the main window is loaded. You can call our time now here, and then we can set on the test value. We can say current time is, so we can just put our daytime. We set it to UTC now. Then we just grab the time element of it. So from here now, what we do is just going to run it to see what comes out of it. So as you can see, we've not actually done any design whatsoever. So once we do this, as you can see, we get the time, the local time printed out here. So as you can see, that the hello world has been replaced with this text here is because we actually waited for the whole components to load before we load in this bit here, so it will be replaced directly here. So we go on and extend our example here. We will put this in a timer. So we're just gonna declare our timer, the capital T. So we just call it Tim. So here our time. So here what we do is we just get the correct reference, system.threading, and we initialize it. New timer, put a constructor here. So we use the overload that takes in 4 parameters. The first parameter is a obj, then we put our anonymous method here. And the second parameter is the object state. We set that to null. And then the next bit is an int, the due time. So we set the due time. We use our time span. Then we set that to a second. So we set 1 second, and then the period, the time period, we use the same time span, that's from second. So we set the period to 1. So as you can see, we've got the whole thing sorted out. So I will explain something quickly here. First of all, we're just going to copy this bit here, and we put it inside this anonymous method here. We save it and run it again, and we should get an error, which I want to explain briefly. So we've got our time. So once it hits this bit here, we get an invalid operation exception error here. So you see the calling thread cannot access this object because a different thread owns it. And we solve this bit here by not just leaving it like this, but we're gonna copy this bit again. We remove it by putting it inside the dispatcher. So we invoke the dispatcher.invoke. So inside here we put our method, anonymous method. So we put our changes here inside the dispatcher rather. So we save it and run it again. So as you can see now, we're getting our time updated every second. So this is the catch. I mean, this is the most basic desktop application that you would ever write, but I mean, this is the starting point. So from the next upcoming videos, we will explore further in terms of looking at how we can build a very rich UI application, your desktop application using WPF. So stay tuned for the next upcoming videos and stay blessed. Bye bye.